Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, First Community Financial Bank, the community bank where you come first. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jay Mornett, and with me now, representing the Naperville Education Foundation, are Board Chair Denise Vaughn and Deb Baker, school nurse at Scott Elementary School. Welcome to the set.
Thank you, Jane.
We're glad to have you, and this isn't the first time you've been here, but let's talk a little bit about the NEF. What is it? What does it do?
Sure. NEF is the Naperville Education Foundation, and we're the philanthropic arm for District 203. So we actually work to generate additional funds for programs for our kids, whether it is for our Kids Booster Anonymous program or our grant program. We have a trustee program. We also do math camp, which I know tons of parents send their kids to math camp. Study skills, which I think even more parents send their kids to study skills. All of those things are not part of the school district budget, so we really work on both private and corporate donations to fund those programs. But what we really wanted to come here to talk to you about is a program that we call Start the Day, which is our breakfast program.
Okay, so Deb, talk a little bit about that, because I know you've been instrumental and I know you're hands on the ground working with this program.
Yes, the Start the Day program was formerly called the School Breakfast Program, and it was started to fill children's tummies when they are hungry, because we don't want to see any students be hungry at school because they don't perform as well, and academically they can have problems if they're hungry and they're not feeling well.
I think that's an important point that people often kind of forget. You know, we as adults, we rush through life, we don't eat breakfast, we don't think about it. But for kids, that's really important to the academic learning, right?
It sure is. Nutrition is very important. They find neurologically that children do better when they have a full tummy on good food.
Okay. Now, the history of this program, how did you suddenly decide that this was something that was important and needed?
Well, I think originally back in 2009, it was started, a teacher at BB School was looking for a way to get snacks for her children in her classroom. And she wrote for a grant through the NEF, and I think that's how it got started. And then from that evolved getting snacks into the building, granola bars, which started as snacks for the children. And then as time went on, it evolved into the Start the Day program with the breakfast.
Okay, okay. Now, Denise, we're in a very affluent community, and I think oftentimes people are surprised to think that there are actually children coming to school hungry. Talk a little bit about that and really how you sort of figured that out.
Sure. Well, and actually, I've been on the NEF board now for 5 years, and even since I started in that position, you know, the demographics have even changed even more. But really, right now, we're facing about 1 out of 6 children in our district are at the poverty level, the low-income level, which is about 17%, which is hard for people to think through. And if you think through how people are trying to get by, one of the things they may skip is breakfast. And I think, you know, Deb can definitely speak more about how these kids then present themselves in school, but it's definitely something we felt we could do as community members to help these kids have a better start.
It's really important. I mean, it's important on such a fundamental level, and I think you've talked a little bit about those changing dynamics and changing demographics, and I think people don't realize that.
They don't. I actually would not have even known had we not talked about it so much as a board of what can we do? How can we help be the safety net? Because I do think, and it's always hard, you know, to kind of put a plug, it's always hard when you live in an affluent area with phenomenal schools to say, you know what, we need more money, we need support. But it is for these programs that all of these kids need that really the school budgets just don't have the money for.
And so what did you do specifically to address that? I mean, how did you get the money to sort of get that going and get it rolling? Because it started small and it really has grown significantly.
Sure, and one of the reasons we're so happy to be here on this segment is so that, you know, people can actually contribute specifically to this program. But the Board of Trustees for NEF do a variety of things in the community to try to generate funds. A lot of them are special events, so you know, we definitely have our golf outing, hiking. We have our Yucks for Youth, which is typically in the winter to generate money. But we also are a big participant in the Naperville Marathon. So all of those ways help us contribute funds. And a lot of those funds go to the different programs, but specifically people can definitely generate, definitely donate to this program.
Specifically to it. Now, Deb, how do you identify the kids that might need that extra little bit of support in the morning?
A teacher may notice that a child may be not acting right in the classroom, so they send them to the office, and many times they come to the nurse, and we, as school nurses, we do a head-to-toe assessment. What's causing the tummy ache? Did you have breakfast? That's one of the first things that we ask, and a lot of children do not get breakfast in the morning. And so we look at them, could it possibly be the flu? Could it be a tummy ache from not eating? Could it be a tummy ache from having a possible appendicitis? So we're very grateful to be able to provide care and coordinate with our community with a partnership with NEF to provide breakfast for the children, and what they do get are very healthy breakfasts. They get fruit, they get to choose from a granola bar, which is quick. They have raisins, they have goldfish. So we're really grateful.
And are they eating those? Are they eating those before school? I mean, they're coming in ahead of first period.
They check in at the office, and we have teachers and secretaries and staff. It's a joint operation that hand out the foods to the kids, and it's great.
And I guess I was thinking too, even there's kids that are just always part of the program, but also it's a safety net if somebody just didn't have a chance to eat.
Absolutely.
And that would really probably throw them off for the day. So it's just great for it to be there.
Absolutely, because the federal funds supply for lunch for the children that are in need, but it's also great for the children that are in need, that need breakfast in the morning, and for kids that are running out the door and they're just running late and they didn't get to eat.
Okay, so no matter whether I didn't have the means to put breakfast on the table or things were not going well this morning, and and it's really just to make sure that the students are ready to learn, that they come ready to learn, right?
Right.
That's wonderful. Now, last question in terms of wrapping up as far as donations. You mentioned before, Denise, people can actually donate directly to the Start the Day program within the NEF?
Right, they can. If they go to our website, they'll be able to actually designate where they want the funds to be. And I think the only thing I wanted to also mention is that within the last year, and Deb's been a huge part of it, is that we've partnered with Loaves and Fishes to really, I think, take the whole program to another level. So it's just been great to have another partner, and we're really grateful.
Collaboration.
It's great. Always makes it better.
Always makes it better. Thank you. So if you would like to know more about how the Naperville Education Foundation is supporting student learning in Naperville School District 203, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a short break for a few messages, but don't go away because we're coming right back with more Spotlight.